So this video is to celebrate Brittany. I just finished Make Some Noise, so this was her 6-week group container. I hired her when I hit a spot in my business where I was starting to really exercise using my voice and putting myself out there, and I was even starting to, share my political opinions and start to go into some controversial topics publicly. And what was starting to happen was I was getting more engagement with my social media than I was used to. I also was noticing how my visibility was expanding. But I was also noticing that as my visibility was expanding, rather than getting excited, I was actually getting kind of guilty and scared at the same time. Almost like every time I would say something powerful, I would get a guilt hangover. And this is when I heard about Brittany's program, Make Some Noise, and I just thought this would be amazing support for me. Just a quick 6-week guidance, help me to see where some of, a container where I can see where some of my different issues in my past might be contributing, where different things might be playing out. I just knew I needed support, honestly, with keeping this visibility consistent, and particularly with overcoming these guilt hangovers after putting myself out there. So what I loved about Brittany was the way that she already embodied this in her own business, the way that she was fearlessly vulnerable in her own content, and the way that she didn't seem to let fear stop her from saying what she needed to say and from embodying her message confidently and in a way that is still very humble and honest about where she's at in the process herself. And so that was the no-brainer decision for me. It ended up being so great. It was something I looked forward to every Monday. Every Monday I would look forward to these calls. It was just such a wonderful way of ensuring that I had regular self-care every month. I loved the journaling exercises. I loved having the group of people. It was a very intimate group, and so we all got along really well. I loved the energy of all of us and just supporting one another through all of our different, little milestones that we made along the way. So the group space was amazing, and the journal exercises were really helpful with my self-care and with helping me to just go a little bit deeper into my subconscious, a little bit deeper into what's motivating me and what's scaring me. The other thing that I loved about Make Some Noise was the fact that it was very psychology informed. So a lot of what was taught in this course I could recognize in my psych schooling, and I really liked that because it meant that the practices that Brittany was guiding us through, I knew were benefiting me. It did very much appreciate how we were empowered in our work on the motherhood wound. It didn't come from a place of blame or feeling really, really sorry for yourself unless those authentic feelings came up. But, it was from a very empowering place. And when we would look at these patterns, Brittany was also, in Make Some Noise, able to help us to look at how we can relate to these wounds differently and how we can reclaim our power in this dynamic, and to help me to end these cycles of self-sabotage by seeing where they originate from in the story of my relationship with my mom and in the story of my relationship with my peers, particularly as a young kid being bullied growing up. So long story short, Make Some Noise is not just another course where someone's telling you how to run your business and telling you exactly what steps to take. It's actually a very psychology informed experience. It helps you from within to build your own self-confidence, to really reclaim yourself and to feel like you have the power to do that. To just say reclaim yourself is really hard, but Make Some Noise made that much easier for me to do by breaking things down into each experience. Like each week had such a big role in helping me to self-reflect in the best ways. And so by the time the 6 weeks were done, I've now noticed that I'm in a pattern of self-reflection and putting myself and my energy needs and my care first before worrying about the goals, before worrying about whether or not everyone else is happy. This paradigm shift was something that I was already working on when I started working with Brittany. So having that support to actually consolidate that into my subconscious, change my behavior, and actually put myself first and actually put my energy needs first and practice it, that has turned things around. It has really built my sense of confidence. I actually feel really good about who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the vulnerable pieces too. And just knowing that who I am today still deserves a certain amount of self-respect and respect from others. So I really recommend this program if you are someone who has a hard time putting yourself first, or like me, might have a guilt hangover whenever you express yourself in a visible way, or might even just have such a fear of expressing yourself in a visible way that you haven't even done it yet. this program can really help you to get past those hurdles, particularly because it helps you, like I said, with your psychology too. It's not just helping you with the actions you're taking, there's also the underlying patterns and subconscious excavation work in the program that helps you to also grow from within and then have the external benefit of being more visible in your business and all the things that come with that happen as a result of the internal healing and the internal changes. I highly recommend working with Brittany. She's so incredibly brilliant as a leader, just very bright, very optimistic. The thing that I love most about Brittany is the way that she embodies trusting herself and leading herself through her life, and the way that she openly shares stories from her own life to remind you that, hey, I'm human, I'm going through this with you too, but here's how to be strong in these situations, or here's how to really claim your power and stick to it when these different challenges happen.